Anonymous are easily the most famous hackers out there, receiving the most media exposure and covering topics that relate to many people. Although they've been criticised, overall people agree with their end goals. Anonymous, a group of hackers and online activists, have been featured a lot in the mainstream media, not only for what they've discovered and published to the world, but because no one really knows who they are. One of the first founders of the organisation went on Reddit and did an interview. One of the questions that was asked was who is Anonymous, and what's their end goal, to which they responded with the following. Anonymous has all walks of life. The most infamous is obviously the hacker type, but just as important are the ones that mobilise online and spread awareness, do research and collaborate in that manner. If you have a voice, you can help Anonymous. End quote. When asked what future members of Anonymous will be tackling, he said the following: privacy rights, big data, and monolithic mega corporations owning everything about you and your life. End quote. In recent years, Anonymous has impacted many people's lives, and one of their most recent announcements was about Elon Musk. They've said that they plan to bring down Elon Musk for messing around with the price of cryptocurrencies, with some members of the group feeling like he's messing with people's livelihood. The group went on to say that Elon has too much power in the cryptocurrency world, and that they don't like how he's behaving. One recent tweet by Elon caught people's attention, as it had the Bitcoin logo with a broken heart emoji. Due to this tweet, it caused Bitcoin to drop by 7%. Crypto Twitter has been very vocal about the fact that when Elon tweets about things like Bitcoin, it usually has an effect on the wider audience. Many people in the comments section were vocal about why cryptocurrency is a bad thing, saying that one person shouldn't have the ability to cause this kind of decrease. One person said the following: Bitcoiners are losing their mind over this, and it makes me laugh that Elon is able to manipulate the system like this. I've never trusted cryptocurrency as I think it's unstable. Another person said the following: the fact that people like Elon have so much impact on these currencies is worrying. I read somewhere that these billionaires do this in order to drop prices, then they buy them all at a cheaper price, and then the prices go back to normal, but they've made a load of money because they buy them at a drop. End quote. Anonymous were direct in their response to this behaviour, saying the following to Elon: millions of retail investors were really counting on their crypto gains to improve their lives. This is something that you will never understand, because you were born into stolen wealth of South African emerald mines, and have no clue what struggle is like for most of the working people in the world. Of course, they took the risk upon themselves when they invested, and everyone knows to be prepared for volatility in crypto. But your tweets this week show a clear disregard for the average working person, as hard-working people have their dreams liquidated over your public temper tantrums. You continue to mock them with your memes from one of your multi-million-dollar mansions. For the past several years, you've enjoyed one of the most favourable reputations of anyone in the billionaire class, because you've tapped into a desire that many of us want, with electric cars and space exploration. But recently your carefully created public image is being exposed, and people are beginning to see you as nothing more than another narcissistic rich dude, who is desperate for attention. It appears that your quest to save the world is more rooted in superiority, and savior complex than it is an actual concern for humanity. This has been obvious to your employees for a long time, who have faced intolerable conditions under your command for years. It's also obvious that the young children working in your overseas Lithuanian mines, which are destroying the local environment as well. You've been open about your willingness to stage coups in order to install dictators, and this is in places where your toxic products are being mined. You have even prematurely crowned yourself as Emperor of Mars, a place where you will be sending people to die. You think you are the smartest person in the room, but now you've met your match. We are Anonymous. We are Legion. Expect us. The message got different reactions on social media, with some praising the group for coming forward and touching on an issue that many have said have impacted them, while others have said that if you don't want to get burned by cryptocurrency then don't invest. One person commented that these people complaining are the same ones congratulating Elon when things go their way, saying that these types of people don't know how to ride the wave, and are the type of people to put all their savings in crypto then get annoyed when it dips. Anonymous continued with the following: Tesla has also made more money holding Bitcoin for a few months than they did in years of selling cars. It's also more likely that this Bitcoin was purchased with money from these government subsidies. It's now widely believed that you've been forced to denounce your company's involvement with Bitcoin in order to keep that green government money flowing into Tesla. The energy use argument about proof of working mining is a very shady conversation that requires a fairly complex understanding of how power grids work and how excess energy is wasted by power companies and sought out by crypto miners." End quote. Former CIA Director R. James Woolsey said he believes UFOs could exist. This news broke after he said that his friend's plane suddenly stopped at 40,000 feet. The mysterious event caused him to question what could have caused this, and said that he hopes the people of Earth will be friendly towards extraterrestrials if they were to visit. He was interviewed by the Black Vault where he said the following: "There have been over the years now events of one kind or another, usually involving some kind of aircraft. I never thought there was anything to this. It always seemed pretty far out to me. But there was one case in which a friend of mine was able to have his aircraft stopped at 40,000 feet and not continue operating as a normal aircraft. What was going on? I don't know. Does anyone know? There had just been enough things like that have occurred that I think there will be a lot of examination of what's going on. This will include over several years. I'm not as skeptical as I was a few years ago, but something is going on that is surprising to a series of intelligent aircraft. I think that some of the phenomena we're going to be seeing continues to be unexplained, and might in fact be some type of phenomenon that is the result of something we don't yet understand, and that could involve some type of activity that some might say constitutes a different form of life." When talking about the mysterious videos released by the Pentagon, he said the following: "You try to ensure that you have as much data as possible in terms of visuals, and also different types of maybe technical collection of sensors." Former Director of Intelligence John Radcliffe said the following: "There are a lot more sightings that have been made public. Some of those have been declassified, and when we talk about sightings, we are talking about objects that have been seen by Navy or Air Force pilots, or have been picked up by satellite imagery that frankly engage in actions that are difficult to explain, movements that are hard to replicate that we don't have the technology for, or travelling at speeds that exceed the sound barrier without making a sonic boom." End quote. Some people though didn't buy into this, and said that the Central Intelligence Agency has a really terrible track record of being honest, further commenting that for decades they twisted the truth to the general public, and have carried out a variety of different experiments against humans that are considered unethical. One person said the following: "I don't like the way that these people are acting surprised about this stuff, as if this is the first time they've heard about it. They've known about these things for years, and acting like this is new information to them is insulting. We know they know about them because they have declassified documents from the 50s and 60s, detailing UFO encounters with pilots, and saying that they moved in ways that our planes weren't able to. They've also spent millions of dollars on misinformation." Others carried on from this and had this to say: "Why are they acting like this is new territory? The Central Intelligence Agency has been involved in this for many years now, and this is going by the information they've released through declassified networks, and that's only the stuff we know about. I'm sure that there's much more information that they haven't released." One UFO researcher said the following: I'm not the first person to say this, but why are we not talking about the fact that our government has been researching these things for over 70 years? They've created secret projects to specifically look into this phenomena, and have gone on to spend billions of dollars to research these crafts further. Isn't that enough evidence to tell you that something is going on here? It's tough to ignore the evidence when it's right in front of our eyes. If these things weren't real, there would be nothing to investigate. Yet time and time again the government has shown that they're interested in these crafts." End quote. Going back earlier this year, the Central Intelligence Agency declassified decades worth of UFO documents. This caused excitement among UFO believers, with amateur researchers saying they've been aware of these investigations for years. There's been approximately 2,700 documents that have been uploaded, most of which detail the government's involvement with UFOs. However, those who looked into these files were not impressed, with many users saying they knew this would happen. Basically, when people logged on to read these documents, in some cases all the information had been blacked out. Many comments followed a similar theme, saying what was the point in releasing these documents if you're going to cross out all the information. One document reads top secret, eyes only, but then you can't read the rest, and many of the documents follow the same theme, which makes it hard to find out what they're talking about and what they're mentioning. Again though, people said they're not going to release anything of interest, and that the majority of documents they release will be about things that aren't interesting. Although some UFO researchers were excited when these documents got released, many who have been studying the subject for some time now have said they're not surprised this happened, with one user going on to say the following: "I've been studying UFOs for 20 years now, and this happens all the time. Whenever they say they're going to reveal top secret documents, they never actually release anything of interest. It's all unreadable, or has been censored to the point that it's just a mishmash of words. When it comes to the subject of UFOs, they're never going to reveal top secret information. It will always normally be the stuff that the general public are already aware of." End quote. A new Pentagon report is expected to be released by the 1st of June, with it going into detail about the aerial phenomena that's been featured in the news. However, again, people aren't getting their hopes up, as they've said they'll only release what they want to, and likely all of the interesting information will be left out. So what do you make of this news? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.